just what they are, it's where they were found.
Making ghost guns. Their production.
It's your boy, No Game Feed. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Smoke and Mirrors live each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Make sure y'all go check my radio show at No Game Radio Live on Spotify for podcasts. We're gonna talk about some realness. Smoke and Mirrors. Big shout outs to the whole New Rock City. Shout outs to everybody out there grinding. Y'all out there doing what y'all gotta do. We salute y'all. It's your boy No Game Feed, man. I'm in the building. I want to talk to y'all for a minute. As you know, the title of the episode is Guns is Found in the New York City Daycare. We're going to react to this. We're going to talk about some realness. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to join the show, the link is in the comments, but you must show your face. It's Smoke and Mirrors when you're tired of being gassed. Take a walk with me. If you know anybody who's trying to break their records, promote their brand, or just trying to be in the next edition of the magazine, tell them to DM me. Follow me at No Game Films. It's on Instagram. We're going to talk for a little bit. Big shout outs to everybody that's tuning in. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. Some real stuff going on right now. And yeah, man, just recently a daycare in the Bronx had fentanyl in it and a baby died. Rest in peace to the baby. Prayers to the family. And it's sad that things are going on like this where the babies are. Where the babies are supposed to be going and being watched over and being looked after while parents are out working, earning a hard day's living, earning money to take care of such family. And they trust these people at these daycare because the credentials look good and everything looks great. And the daycare, which is responsible for the child, have fentanyl in it. 5 people ended up being arrested. They finally caught the guy that was on camera with the bags leaving out the back or down some alley. Got caught, I guess, at the border. And now all 5 is being charged, and rightfully so. Those who supposed to care, protect, teach, nurture the babies in the care of the child and taking trust from the parents. And tragedies like this happen. It's unfortunate and it's sad. Now, today's events, just hours ago, East Harlem daycare was raided and ghost guns was found in the daycare. I mean, seriously, what are y'all people thinking about out here when y'all out here doing these types of things? Ghost guns in a daycare. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. For those who's joining the show, welcome to the show, Smoke and Mirrors. I'm your host, No Game Feeve. This is sponsored by Stack Chicken, No Time for Games, the magazine, Heartly Life, Volume 1, and No Game Beauties. All my creations, all my projects, and there's a few other projects that I done created that I'm being productive, but this right here takes the cake. Ghost guns are found in a Harlem daycare. Courtesy of Eyewitness News, we're going to get into this right now because this is ridiculous.
New York City daycare.
Yeah, the last time it was drugs found at a daycare in the Bronx. This time, police say they discovered a licensed daycare facility in East Harlem making ghost guns. Their production right next to where children were being cared for.
With the latest on this investigation, Eyewitness News reporter.
So the ghost guns was being made right next to the children's daycare. So the ghost guns wasn't found in the Harlem daycare. They was found next to the children's daycare, and the media knows how to do this very well. The media knows how to do this very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear the air and make sure that everybody understands what's exactly going on. Guns was found in the East Harlem daycare. Not in the East Harlem daycare, right next to the East Harlem daycare. Guns was found. And it's sad that things like this happen, but we're going to continue to get into the story.
Tom Negevin is live outside that daycare in East Harlem. Tom?
Sandra, David, the mayor himself said it today. Who would have thought the city would have to deal with something like this, or something like this again, I think is what was implied. The daycare on the 5th floor of this East Harlem apartment building. Neighbors say they're not entirely surprised. 3 charges here, 2 minors, the third, the 18-year-old son of the daycare owner.
Ghost guns and the 3.
The daycare owner's son and 2 of his little homeboys was making ghost guns in an apartment next to the daycare. Did they just say that? Is that serious? Like these kids really thought about it like that?
Was implied. The daycare on the 5th floor of this East Harlem apartment building. Neighbors say they're not entirely surprised. 3 charges here, 2 minors, the third, the 18-year-old son of the daycare owner.
Ghost guns and the 3D printer used to make them on display at police headquarters today. There are 2 completed handguns, a nearly complete assault pistol, and part of a 4th weapon. It's not just what they are, it's where they were found.
It does not give us any joy in coming here to talk about another case where a home daycare provider had children in a dangerous environment.
The daycare licensed to this apartment, the only identifier, a small sign on the door for parents who might be picking up kids. Off camera, residents say there have been complaints about the owner's son. Neighbors say they're no longer surprised about anything.
Until the law don't get down and start giving time to the ones that do what they do and start letting them get away with it, it's going to continue.
But something like this in a daycare? I mean,
Doesn't surprise me.
That cynicism likely the result of the last crime scene at a city daycare in the Bronx, where drugs
Shout
were
outs to
recovered,
Real Black to
children
Don on the
sickened,
check-in.
and 1-year-old Nicholas Dominici died of apparent fentanyl exposure. Police say this gun bust was the result of a long-term investigation.
Our investigation began with a group of individuals, including some minors, who were purchasing ghost gun parts from online retailers.
This is a heartbreaking scenario of thinking that you're dropping your child off to a place of safe haven just to find out that it was a dangerous environment.
the daycare operator has not been charged. Her son has. 18-year-old Karan Kohli expected to be arraigned within the next few hours. 2 minors charged as well with manufacturing ghost guns. The investigation, police say,
ongoing. More charges are possible.
Ridiculous. Daycare owner's son is the ringleader behind the madness that put all them babies in danger. Can't tell me that the parents don't know. The parent didn't know that the kid was doing what he was doing because of the behaviors he's showing and displaying. And you know he's hanging out in the streets. So he figuring that's the smartest thing to do. That's the goofiest thing to do, which is put yourself in harm's way, somebody else's children, your mother, your place of residence, and your homeboys. That goes to show you what type of mentality y'all young boys is running around here possessing. Shout outs to It's Trey 9 on the check-in. Y'all got to pay attention to what's going on because a lot of y'all are out here tripping with no sense, and a lot of y'all have more sense than what y'all displaying. That young boy seen his mother start a business to help provide for the household, and he jeopardizes the business by ordering ghost guns and manufacturing ghost guns near the house or in the house. Really doesn't deserve no real response to that other than, excuse me, really don't deserve no other response other than better parenting, knowing your child, knowing what your child is doing, and being more proactive in the house. You know what's going to happen now? The federal government is going to figure out a way how to track everybody's online account. What you're ordering, what's coming through. The invasion of privacy is about to take place at full effect because now these ghost guns are being found. They're going to step up all types of technology because fentanyl is being found in daycares. Don't know what to tell y'all. Just know that it's a whole bunch of madness going on out here. And the daycare, the mother probably didn't even know what was going on. But at the end of the day, she's lucky to dodge a bullet because that was taking place going on. They say in her crib, but they're saying near her crib. Nobody's really sure the location, but they telling you it's in an apartment building on the 5th floor. Excuse me. This is a serious matter across the nation where these ghost guns are just popping up out of nowhere. The government can trace all the guns with serial numbers, but these guns have no serial numbers. There's no trace. Law says that you can't be charged if you get in these parts. Where you're being charged at is when they're being put together. So therefore, for that house to be raided or that place to be raided, police had to get information, which means somebody had to give up information about these guns being manufactured. They're untraceable online. Or they might be. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, whatever, man. You want to join the show on my YouTube page, go to my YouTube page. It's No Game, one word, entertainment, second word. There's a link to the show in the comments. Hit the link, join the show. Give your views, give your opinions. Must show your face first when you join the account. Once again, babies were being put in harm's way. That 18-year-old kid going to jail. Might catch him a little federal charge. We don't know. Ghost guns, I don't know if they're federal or not. But something has to be done about how these weapons are getting shipped in the country and how it's being deemed safe. I don't like they're being placed in daycare facilities. The worst drugs in the world where you inhale it, you touch a little grain of it, kills you instantly. That baby didn't have a chance. Them babies, and it was just one. It could have been everybody in that daycare. What if one of them babies would have got hold of one of them ghost guns in the other daycare? Got to think about things like that. And I don't see how the mother doesn't get held accountable, because if they saying it happened in the house, but then they saying it happened near the house, your son is going probably to spend the next 5 to 10 years in prison, possibly the feds. Y'all young dudes out here, y'all got to pay attention to what's going on. This is a show that delivers real content. We don't deliver debates and none of that. We talking about real situations that's going on out here in the world. And more or less, this is happening in New York City. So everybody that lives in New York City, the 5 boroughs, and even outside the 5 boroughs, and you have children that go to daycare, do your due diligence and do your research on these facilities and understand where you placing your child, because simple matters like this can put your child in harm's way, possibly end up in a fatal position. Doesn't make no sense. I'm gonna run this back one more time because I have to give y'all a real understanding of what's happening and what's taking place in the world with the children now. It's sickening.
Daycare.
Yeah, the last time it was drugs found at a daycare in the Bronx. This time, police say they discovered a licensed daycare facility in East Harlem making ghost guns. Their production right next to where children were being cared for.
With the latest on this investigation, Eyewitness News reporter Tom Negevin is live outside that daycare in East Harlem. Tom?
Sandra, David, the mayor himself said it today. Who would have thought the city would have to deal with something like this, or something like this again, I think is what was implied. The daycare on the 5th floor of this East Harlem apartment building. Neighbors say they're not entirely surprised. 3 charges here, 2 minors, the third, the 18-year-old son of the daycare owner. Ghost guns and the 3D printer used to make them on display at police headquarters today. There are 2 completed handguns, a nearly complete assault pistol, and part of a 4th weapon. It's not just what they are, it's where they were found.
It does not give us any joy in coming here to talk about another case where a home daycare provider had children in a dangerous environment.
The daycare licensed to this apartment, the only identifier, a small sign on the door for parents who might be picking up kids. Off camera, residents say there have been complaints about the owner's son. Neighbors say they're no longer surprised about anything.
Until the law don't get down and start giving time to the ones that do what they do and start letting them get away with it, it's going to...
That's crazy. Now, I just did some research and it says the rule does not prohibit the sale or possession of any ghost gun kit, nor does it block an individual from purchasing such a kit. Instead, it requires compliance with federal laws that impose conditions on the commercial sale of firearms. Now, with that saying, it says also the federal government has proposed laws that will regulate ghost guns as traditional firearms. So they're proposing to make these ghost guns like regular firearms. So if you get caught with them, you get charged like as if you had a real regular gun. The rules would require that ghost gun parts be sold with serial numbers and background checks. The rules also would require that ghost guns be reported to officials. So therefore, they're trying to make these guns fall under the lines of being legal and real guns. So if you get caught, you possibly could be charged. Not now, but So what that's saying is if the kid didn't assemble the gun, which he did, and he assembled the gun, so that's where it becomes a crime. But it's no crime to get the parts. That's what they're saying. It should be. They're proposing, what they're trying to propose is that they're trying to propose that these guns be documented, these guns end up with serial numbers, and these guns be reported to officials, and they become real charges if you get caught with them, if you have felonies or if you're not registered to have one. What they're trying to do is make these guns registered. The thing about it is that these ghost guns are being sold all over the world. They're being shipped at an all-time high. Ghost guns are invading it. They already invaded New York State. There's a tremendous overload of ghost guns and all types of untraceable weapons in New York State. And there's really, they're trying, but there's really nothing too much that they can do unless they find a way where, I don't know, they figure it out. It's real out here, and for guns to be found at a Harlem daycare or near Harlem daycare by babies is really retarded. It's goofy. And those three kids, man, because the 18-year-old, even though he's an adult, he's a kid. His mentality is a kid, and he had minors with him, so that tells you how much of a child-minded person that the 18-year-old was. He didn't care about the lives of the people that was following him. See, when you're a leader and you have that much power, you got to use your power the right way. You got to do the right thing. You should have made them young boys go find a hobby, not putting together ghost guns. Wrong hobby. Don't make no sense.
Snow games. Yeah, shit. Let me old school flow this new shit. Nigga 5 on the bus like Fife and Q-tip for the see no bills or blue tick. Cook pies, sit on the stove, call it cool whip. First to the fifth, giving fiends a new fix. All for a change, some jeans and new kicks. My dogs don't fight, they knife and shoot shit. Got the stripe with a used blick, then remove prints. We just here to do our thing, here to play the game. Trying to make it out the bottom in the way you feel the pain. Pressure to hate and switching lanes. Now we running up the bag. Why you stuck ain't never changed. Now gotta laugh at all you lanes. Laugh upon this burning plains. We can never be the same. Now watch the snakes in the grass. Plotting hate on your cash. Little dummies running stupid. Caught an L cause he crashed. Trip lot of cake in the stash. She get a whip, she shaking ass. I remember y'all prayed it wouldn't take off. R.I.P. take off. Chicken with the big sauce. Beat it, bounce, get lost. Fire like a real force. Hope that doesn't go over your head and you get lost. Then I gotta dip off. Speaking tough for what for? Scary had to make calls. Then they want to cop keys. This ain't what you want, boy. Then I gotta dip off. Speaking tough for what for? This ain't what you want, boy. Pussy.
Yeah, it's real crazy out here. You got to be careful out here, man. These kids running wild, man. All you people that's older and y'all always looking for reasons to back out of a situation. It's more important that we take a stronger hold of what's going on. These kids need help and they crying out for it. There's nothing for them out there. And this is what they get caught up doing, joining gangs, getting involved with the wrong plays, even wanting to develop and manufacture ghost guns. Manufacturing ghost guns. Not too long ago out here where I'm from New Rochelle, New York. And there was this one kid on the other side of town. We didn't even know nothing about it on the south side of New Rochelle until it hit the papers, it hit the news that this young boy had almost an apartment full of ghost guns and ghost gun boxes and everything. And thankfully, thankfully they didn't land in the hands of our children. I'm not saying that it was good that he got arrested, but I'm saying thankfully that they didn't land in the hands of our children, because New Rochelle would have been a terrible place. Some of these young kids is already out here doing all types of mad things and sad things. And there's nothing out here to get up and running for these children to have to go to. They overcharging you to get in the boys clubs now. Now I'm hearing that they asking for $100 in the local boys club out here, talking about some mess trying to sell it real good. No, what happened was the city out here took the boys club from the local projects where the most crime happens in the city. Not the most, but there's a lot of crime that happens in the vicinity of where the boys club that they took down, which was Remington Boys Club. They rebuilding it now. But the original boys club was a safe haven for a lot of kids. There wasn't a lot of crime when the boys club was up. Now they putting a new boys club up and they asking for hundreds of dollars. They want $100 for membership, and it's ridiculous. It's like it's becoming a corporation and a business. And if things is happening at daycares with babies, guns are being found in daycares around the babies, and fentanyl's being found around the babies in the daycares. What you think is going to happen with the boys clubs that charge you $100, and most families don't have $100, but their child needs to be in a facility like that? Systematically, financial gain is what everybody's out for, and that's dangerous. Something so simple as doing the right thing cost these people situations. It's ridiculous.
Daycare.
Yeah, the last time it was drugs found at a daycare in the Bronx. This time, police say they discovered a licensed daycare facility in East Harlem making ghost guns. Their production right next to where children were being cared for.
With the latest on this investigation, Eyewitness News reporter Tom Negevin is live outside that daycare in East Harlem. Tom?
Sandra, David, the mayor himself said it today. Who would have thought the city would have to deal with something like this, or something like this again, I think is what was implied. The daycare on the 5th floor of this East Harlem apartment building. Neighbors say they're not entirely surprised. 3 charges here, 2 minors, the third, the 18-year-old son of the daycare owner.
Ghost guns and the 3D printer used to make them on display at police headquarters today. There are 2 completed handguns, a nearly complete assault pistol, and part of a 4th weapon. It's not just what they are, it's where they were found.
It does not give us any joy in coming here to talk about another case where a home daycare provider had children in a dangerous environment.
The daycare licensed to this apartment, the only identifier, a small sign on the door for parents who might be picking up kids. Off camera, residents say there have been complaints about the owner's son. Neighbors say they're no longer surprised about anything.
Until the Lord don't get down and start giving time to the ones that do what they do and start letting them get away with it, it's going to continue.
But something like this in a daycare? I mean,
Doesn't surprise me.
That cynicism likely the result of the last crime scene at a city daycare in the Bronx, where drugs were recovered, children sickened, and 1-year-old Nicholas Dominici died of apparent fentanyl exposure. Police say this gun bust was the result of a long-term investigation.
Our investigation began with a group of individuals, including some minors, who were purchasing ghost gun parts from online retailers.
This is a heartbreaking scenario of thinking that you're dropping your child off to a place of safe haven just to find out that it was a dangerous environment.
That's crazy. The question is, what you gonna do, Mayor? What's the answer? What's the remedy? How do we solve the problem? They're going to be working with the federal government to find and track everybody's online. If you purchase something online, you know, once you give up that card information, It goes into a channel. Now, what they're going to probably add to it, this is just a fabricated opinion. And what they need to do is they need to track every package that's bought when a card is used. It goes to an address, and that's it. Other than that, gotta be careful out here. I want to thank everybody that tapped in, watched the show. We gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep giving you good content. We gonna keep doing it up until next show. Be careful out there. Keep your circle tight. Love us always. Protect the baby. It's your boy No Game Feed. Smoke and Mirrors. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Hit the like, subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell a friend. We will be back Sunday evening, y'all. Peace.